What's going on? My name is Jack, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can make beats like Playboi Carti's new album, I Am Music, and this is going to be kind of like the style of Hood by Air, Crank, and like these bouncy, sinister beats. I'm also going to throw in a serum pack for you guys. All right, so without wasting any more time, let's get into the beat. If you want to follow along and have the same sounds that I use in this specific beat, just click the link in the description and it will bring you to the serum pack that I used. If we start off with the 808 here, this is the 808 pattern. Now these types of beats actually play a lot with the off tempo. So like right before the snare right here. And this is what like kind of gives it the bounce that it has. When it comes to the actual sound here, this is the backdoor 808, and this is from the I Am Music deconstructed kit from Shooter Beats or Shooter Beats. I don't know how you say it. It has pretty much all the drums or almost all the drums in the album. Now this specific 808 right here is actually a Spins 808, but it seems to be a bit more distorted or clipped. I'm not really sure, but it definitely sounds a lot harder if we compare this to the regular Spins, for example. It's definitely more powerful when it comes to the actual sample here. Now for the snare here, this is the Evil Jordan snare from the same kit. And basically what I did with this snare is on the 3 and the 4 on the second bar here. So 1, 2, snare, 1, 2, 3, snare right here. So again, same thing with the 808, you're going to want to play around with the off tempo here. Instead of putting the snare on the 3rd like you normally would, I just took it out and put it on the 4th instead. Now for the hi-hat, this is just your regular 2-step pattern, hi-hat God level. And instead of doing the regular C5, I actually boosted this up 1 semitone. That way the hi-hat is kind of pitched up a little bit. I don't know why, but it felt good for this beat. So here's the hi-hat, very, very basic stuff, okay? I mean, you get the point. Very simple. You could add some rolls in there, but I don't know. I just felt like there was a lot of stuff, so I didn't add any rolls, but you could definitely go ahead and add rolls. Now here we got a second snare, which I only added in the second part here. Again, on the off tempo here. Now, next up, we have probably what I think is one of the signature sounds in this album, which is the open hats. Now, adding open hats is very simple and it's very, mundane. But if you place them correctly in the beat, in the drum sequence, you get this crazy bounce. I have the crank open hat and the trim open hat. Let me play these on their own, and then I'm going to play them in context. Now in context, it's going to give a lot of hype to everything for some reason, and it adds a lot of like high end and a lot of airiness to the drum sequence. And last but not least, in the drum section is the cowbells. Now you probably heard these in tracks like Hood by Air. I believe this is the TR-808 cowbell, but definitely correct me if I'm wrong in the comments here. This is just your regular, drum machine cowbell. Very, very simple stuff here. So again, in context. So if we summarize what we have in the drum section, first of all, we have a hard 808, we have some hard drums in general, and we also have a lot of elements that are kind of in between the 1 and the 2. And these kind of like off-grid sounds are gonna make the beat actually very unpredictable when it comes to the drums, and it's also gonna make it more mysterious in a way. So moving on to the melodies here, I have 3 different synths, and these are all from Serum here. And again, if you want to download these sounds, just check the link in the description. This is the first one. So this is basically just your like a regular sine wave with an LFO here set at 1/16 rate. And this is what gives it like that kind of like wobbly sound effect in the background here. Very like subtle, but very present at the same time. The only thing is I kind of like toned it down a lot, because if I just put this too loud, it's going to be too much for the beat. And we just don't want to overcrowd the drums in this. So in context with the drums, you could even go ahead and like add a more sinister synth to this. I just like this kind of synth because it reminded me of kind of like the rage genre, but you could definitely go ahead and add some more ambient stuff if you want here. This is the first synth that I use. Now the second synth, I have 2 different patterns. So number 1, we have this right here. And the second pattern is right here. The only difference is I duplicated the C sharp D note, and I just brought it up 1 octave like this. This is much more like hype and more like rage-y, if you may. Pretty much any like synth that is kind of robotic and harsh is gonna do for this. And as far as like the notes here, just regular like Carti chord progression stuff. Okay, very simple, up and down here. And last but not least, we have this pad sound that almost sounds like a string. So again, playing with the 1 semitone up and down here kind of brings in that sinister vibe again. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is pretty much what it is. Nothing more to it really. That's pretty much the beat, man. It's like very, very simple. You could go ahead and add some more stuff to this, but I found that to be pretty good. I did try to add the crank vocals on this just to see if it sounded good.
I'm trying to see where you win it. I'm trying to see if you win it. How you trying to fuck up the money?
So that's pretty much it for the tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. If you want some more tutorials like this on any genre or any type of beats, just comment down below what you guys want, and I'm going to try to work on that as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.